Hello, welcome to another award-winning episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander with Bona Adhesives.
I'm Rob Johnson with the Bona Training. In the cellar. I'm in the cellar today, Wayne.
You know that we won the award. We won the podcast award, right?
That major award. Yes.
But if we want the trophy, it costs us $325 a piece. I don't know.
Do you think Jack Nicholson
paid for his own trophies?
Paid for his own Academy Award for Cuckoo's Nest? I mean, did somebody reach out to Jack's people and go, "Hey, you owe us $1.25"?
Just so you know. Yeah. I don't think so somehow. Hey, I got a question. I got to get right to it real quick. And if anybody's listening to this in Europe, you might have a better answer to this. America lost last night to Belgium in soccer, okay, in the World Cup. And here's the question I have as a guy that I got into it. I am very much a casual fan of that. I mean, I only watch it when the World Cup comes around. But here's my question to a soccer aficionados. Okay, here's what I don't understand. When a goalie has a ball and he's going to kick it off, okay, he kicks it way out there. That's a 50-50 ball, right? I mean, yeah. I've seen so many times when who knows who's going to get that ball. As many times as your team gets it, the other team gets it. I don't understand that, because if you kick it to your guy or you throw it to your guy 100% of the time, you've just cut down the odds. If you lose 50% of those balls, that's 50% or less offense that you get to start. I don't understand that. Somebody help me make sense of that, if you have the answer to that, because I don't know. It's been bugging me every time I turn it on. I go, see, here's my problem with soccer. So much of it looks accidental instead of incidental. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, like in football, American football, there's a play. All right, we're going to run X47C. The receiver knows he's going to run this route. The quarterback's going to drop back so many steps, he's going to throw that ball. It will work or it will not work. But there's a plan. On every play, there's a very specific plan.
Yes.
I don't get that sense in soccer. And I'm not knocking soccer. I just don't understand why that's the case.
I think there are more. Like, you probably think that about hockey too. There's not a lot of plays in hockey, but
I do actually.
There is a lot of plays. Same thing with basketball.
I disagree.
Inbounding the ball, but what happens is, like Tyson said, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. So you might have a plan in hockey or soccer, but if you lose the face-off, that plan's out the window.
That doesn't jive. That's like a tip ball in basketball. That's anybody's ball. However, when they're inbounding the ball in basketball, there's a play in mind.
There's a play in mind.
And they're not throwing it up there to anybody.
Bird steals the ball.
Understood. But there's a play in mind.
Yes.
And he's not just saying, hey, I'm just going to throw it up there and whoever gets it, gets it. That's what I don't understand.
I think there are plays. I think there's more too.
I don't.
But it's funny because when I watch my grandson play soccer, I get all jacked up when our goalie finally gets the ball, or sometimes he plays goalie and he boots it 3/4 of the way down the field. I'm like, good, get it out of here.
Yeah, but for what?
To get it out of there, because they're attacking now. Now it's down in the other zone. Maybe I just rather I like it when it's in the other zone. Yes, I see what you're saying. You're losing it.
Yeah, you're cutting your odds. It's a game of odds.
Yep, but it's also down in the other guy's zone. I mean, these goalies, it's amazing how far they can kick the ball. So,
all right,
now, I don't know. Like you and I know not too much about soccer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking somebody, especially from Europe, that has an answer to my question, to email me, wayne.highlander@bona.com. All right. HIGHLANDER. Been bugging me the whole FIFA thing's been bugging me about that one
I
question.
just had a guy last night at my golf league explain to me the time.
Don't get me
What's
started on
going
that.
on with the time? Huh?
I don't understand that either.
Yeah.
What do you mean they
I,
got another 6 minutes? What did that? What happened here?
I think the first time I saw somebody get knocked down, or the medics came out onto the field and everything, and I'm like, they forgot to turn the clock off. Why ain't they turning the clock off?
Yeah.
Well, the clock never gets turned off.
Why not?
But all of that, all of that stuff when they're laying on the ground
Hmm.
and they're tending to people or whatever stops in play. The clock keeps going, but there's a
Yeah.
guy off to the side keeping track of all of that time, and then they add it on at the end.
Does that make sense to you at all?
Turn the clock off.
Stop the play. Stop the
Just
play and then start it
just
again.
just turn the clock off.
Don't surprise me at the end with, oh,
Right.
there's another 6 minutes. Oh, there's 3, 4 minutes left.
Well, the other thing is there's a red box. Did you ever see that?
No.
Watch it when the end of a game, and then all of a sudden there's a red box next to the time,
Yeah.
and that red box is supposed to be telling you that there's an extra 21 minutes. It's going to
Okay.
go an extra 21 minutes or
Okay.
something.
Not
But
20.
I
What's
was
what?
I was very, very confused. Like, I
Okay.
thought this game was over. It's at 90 minutes.
Yeah, I was celebrating.
And
Oh,
they're
here's
going
the
and
other thing.
going and going.
I'll get off this in real quick in a minute, but okay. I turned on a game and I thought it was America playing somebody. And I know America's colors are white and red or whatever. And I'm watching these two teams for about, I don't know, 10 minutes, and I realized it's not even America playing. So I turn the channel, I find America. Okay. I'm rooting for the wrong team now because America's not wearing white and red, they're wearing blue or black. So the whole time I'm like, then the guy scored this 1-1. I go, wait a minute. You gotta be kidding me. Am I rooting for the wrong guys the whole time? I mean, Pittsburgh Steelers are a certain color, and everybody knows it's yellow and black, right? Black and yellow, yellow and black.
Black and yellow. Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
anyhow. All right, I'll shut up. Hey, listen.
No, no, no. It's all right because I think a lot of us had the same questions.
Okay, and I'm not knocking soccer. I really thoroughly enjoy. I don't know when I've been had more angst watching a game recently than watching a soccer tournament. When England, I was rooting for England because my family in England, and I was rooting for America. And when England was playing with a man down because of red card, and man, it was, I mean, I was like at the edge of my seat. Then I started wondering, is that because the whole game's so boring that there's no score? That when it does score, it's like, oh my God, it's like the greatest thing in the world. They scored, you know what I mean? Like in our games, like we score all the time. You know what I mean? But in those games, you watch for 40 minutes without a point. I think when it finally happens, you're like, oh, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are you a fan of baseball? You like
Mm-mm.
baseball?
I do not like baseball.
You don't like baseball?
I appreciate it, and I appreciate I have a much respect for the history
Yes.
of it, and I love the history of it. But I am not a baseball fan.
Right. And a lot of people watch baseball, and I think you see a lot of kids today is like, they don't play baseball because it's so boring. You're just
Hmm.
sitting there. Well, it's either boring or you're waiting on the next pitch, excited,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And yeah, it can be. I mean, that's half the battle when you're coaching kids is you've got to pay attention to every. You have to assume every pitch the ball's coming to you, and you
Hmm.
got to move like
Yeah.
that. And so yeah, some people might think it's boring,
I
but
recognize that
it's
there's
every
many.
pitch,
Yeah.
and I think the same thing in soccer. Yeah, it might look boring, but I think now that my grandson's playing kind of a competitive soccer, I have
Hmm.
a lot more appreciation. Not I kind of get it now.
Hmm.
Like it's
Oh,
it's a great game to go watch, I think.
so I know there's levels of baseball intricacy that I don't understand, and that's I'm missing 80% of the game because of it. I get that. Now on soccer was my favorite sport to play when I was a kid. I, I I played soccer every day, every night till the sun went down. When I was living in England and Germany and Ireland, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. but I've been away from the sport for a long time now. Okay, let's cut off.
The next time you're not watching a Major League Baseball game,
Hmm.
watch what the infield does on every single pitch.
Okay.
They like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They're making
Yeah.
that move. They're
Yeah.
making the move like it's
Yeah.
coming to me. That kind
Yeah.
of move.
Hmm. Okay. Hey, I just want to say I want to go over something real quick, and I'm kind of addressing this to the younger guys in the audience. Okay. And when me and Rob always say, we don't want to feel like we're preaching and that kind of stuff. But man, I'm going to say this and then but hold on to the end before you get mad or whatever. I, I started
Ha!
I started thinking and I did some research on this about but we talk about buying lunch and it's hard to get ahead these days and saving money and this kind of stuff, right? Um, if you bought your lunch every working day of the year, okay, that's basically it's $4,000 if your lunch was 15 bucks a day. Okay, if it's 15 bucks a day on your lunch for every day, that's $4,000. If instead you brought your sack lunch, okay, and you put and then hold on a minute because I can see everybody going right, oh, blah blah blah. Okay, if you put that money in the bank every year, okay, that $4,000. At the end of the first year, you're going to get a few $100 in interest. You go, oh, big deal. I hardly got any interest on that. It's not exciting. Okay. Second year, same thing. You go, oh, well, I got, some money on interest, but it's not too exciting because look, I could have bought for $4,000. I could have bought this, that, or the other. Okay. Okay.
I could have
It's,
Chinese takeout every day for lunch.
yes. So listen to this. After
Okay, here we
after
go.
20 years, and this is where, man, if you young guys don't understand compound interest, my man, it is a game changer. So listen to this. For 20 years of doing this, you know how much money you would end up with? If you put it in the S&P with about an average of 10% return, okay? 225,000 to $235,000. Okay. Now that's investing $80,000 because that's the 80 grand you would have saved after 20 years of not buying your lunch.
20 years at 4 grand a year,
Yep.
$80,000.
Yep. You would get
Put it into
235.
T-bills,
Yep.
and you'd end
230.
up with $250,000 after that 20 years, just from
Yes.
bringing your lunch.
Yes. But listen to this. This is where
Oh,
compound interest
come on,
at the end of
hit me.
25,000 at the end of 25 years, you'd end up with 390 to $400,000.
Of 25 years
25 years.
of bringing a
So,
lunch,
yep.
400 grand.
So on an investment of $100,000 is what you would have put in, you would have earned $300,000. Okay. Listen to 30 years.
Here
30
we go.
years of not eating a lunch. Okay, or not buying your $15 lunch every day for 30 years, you would end up with 650 to $670,000. Okay? Compound interest. So don't worry about what the interest rate is or what all that kind of stuff. It's the compound interest that gets you. So on $120,000 investment, you would yield back $530,000, more than $500,000. Now, when I say Rob and we've made mistakes over the years, I'm safe to say we didn't do this. What we got instead was 25-pound extra stomach. Okay, by
25. Yeah,
yeah,
I wish 25. Yeah,
I'm being kind to both of us. That's the difference. But isn't that freaking amazing?
that's
Okay,
unbelievable.
so let's say this. Okay, so that's just one thing. That's just one thing you did. That's it's just not buying lunch every day. But what
Mhm.
if you also added another $50 a week in the bank? Because you think, well, what's 50 bucks? And the interest rate, whatever, that's not, but it's the compound interest of doing it week after week after week after week, 50 bucks.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
what if you were to put $100 a month? You know what I mean? And just continue to do that. So when it looks, and I say this because sometimes I see young guys think like it's futile. Like, well, I mean, everything's so expensive. I only make this amount of money, or whatever. And what am I, you know what I mean? And what difference does a little bit make because everything's so expensive? The house costs so much, blah, blah, blah. But just a few things could really change your life. Now, when I say I'm not preaching, like I said, Rob and I didn't do this. Okay. As a young guy, I didn't understand compound interest. I understand compounding the cheese with the hamburger and the mayonnaise and pickles and whatever, and I was happy with that. My stupid
Chinese
self.
takeout,
Yeah,
three slices and a yoo-hoo. Yeah.
I never,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
no
I
one,
get it.
yeah, nobody told me this. You know what I mean? I wish someone would have said, "Hey, dummy, listen, let me show you something." That's why I'm explaining this because maybe it may help somebody. Like I said, that's just one thing. Is that not putting any other money in the bank, just not buying your lunch, putting that money in the bank. But if you could add a few things on top of that, and I know people say, "Oh, well, what do you mean save money? It's so hard to live, blah blah blah." But if it's possible, then
It's the
investing
little
in
things.
yourself and the little
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
I it's funny you said that because I had physical therapy today, from my my back and leg thing. I'm in the office and a guy walks in and he goes, "Oh my gosh, Mr. Johnson." And it's a guy that him and I were scout leaders together. I mean, he had one squad, I had another squad, and we hadn't seen each other in 30 years. It felt like I just saw him yesterday. That 30 years, I know the joke is, right? Yeah, compounding, and it's never gonna, I don't have to think about this yet, that kind of thing. But I can't believe when he goes, man, it's been 30 years since we had the boys and scouts and this, that, and the other thing. I was like, holy crap, that was a freaking blink of an eye. So yeah, you might think I
Ah,
got plenty of time to do it. You
man, am I glad you
don't.
said that.
Just start now.
I'm
Just
so glad.
just do it now. That is definitely by far the biggest mistake I made. Or definitely up there in top five.
You
Is
know when I
not taking advantage of dumb little things like that, like I said, 30 years is my grandsons are the same age as our sons were.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just insane how fast this goes.
You
You
know
think, oh
what?
my God, 30 years is a lifetime. No,
Mhm.
it's not. It's a blink. It's
I
insane.
I was 20 years old a day ago. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
it goes so fast. I'm so glad you said that because perspective is everything. I mean, it goes so fast you can't believe it. Like, I mean, when you say you're 65 years old or you're 62 years old, whatever you are, whatever, it's like it doesn't even seem real because I was 20 years old just a few minutes ago, 30 years old, 40 years old, and
yeah,
50 years old. So you're so right to say that. You think that you have all kinds of time to do this. The time goes so fast, man. It is just crazy. So
yeah,
hopefully somebody, man, maybe might help you down the road because you think like, well, 30 years is a long time, but I could get a $500,000, but it's 30 years. But man, when you start seeing the compound interest, because at first it's going to be boring. You're going to go, oh, I made, a few hundred
right,
dollars on
right.
interest, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then by year 12, by year 14, man, then that it's a snowball rolling down the hill. It's small at first, it's small, but then when it picks up steam and it starts getting the compound interest and growing and growing and growing, and man, now you got power, right? Now you have power. So there you go.
Corporate stooge power.
Well, if you don't, it's
Yeah,
a lot of power.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, because everybody laughs at that.
Yeah.
Everybody, oh yeah, 20, 30 years. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my gosh.
I remember,
I have had this conversation with all my kids, like, please, if you're gonna do anything, please,
yeah.
because it's gonna happen so fast. I remember, I don't know, I think Bum was maybe 21 or 22. And I sat down with him one day, and yeah, he was working. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just working as a mechanic, and not there's anything wrong with that, But I could tell he was kind of in a rut. I could tell that just
Hmm.
he was in a rut. I could tell. So one day I just took him out to breakfast, and I said, I'm not gonna tell you what to do here. Said, but you're like 21, 22, well, however old you are. I
Mhm.
go, you're going to wake up tomorrow and you're going to be 31, just like that.
Yep.
I said, so at least have a plan, okay? So you don't wake up at 31 and go, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. You know what I mean? And for he took my advice. Next thing you know,
Hmm.
2 years later, he's in railroad school and work.
Hmm.
He got a great job and all that stuff. I mean, he ended up coming back and starting his own floor company, but
Hmm.
it I wanted him to realize that it just happened so freaking quick.
Yeah.
You're 22. I go, you're gonna stay in this rut. You're gonna wake up in your 30s and go, what happened? You know?
Funny you said 30s. I talked to a family member not long ago who's in his 30s and was bummed out because he's starting all over again. The trade he went to school for and everything, or the career is not panning out for him. He's starting all over. And he's like bummed about that and feels bad about it because whatever other kids he went to school with, blah blah blah. 30 years old is so young. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You look at some of the most successful people in the world, they didn't get successful until they're in their late 40s, 50s, or 60s even.
Right.
30 years old is nothing. Nothing. So if
How
that's
old
a
were
hang
you
up,
when you started at Bona? How old were you?
oh, you're right. Okay, let's look at here. I've been here, what,
Right?
12 years? So, I was a young 55 years old. Young.
55
Yeah, yeah,
is when you started your life at Bona.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
mind you, I was
yeah.
already successful, so
Right.
let's not get it twisted.
Yeah. 55, you started in the Bona custodial services, and look at you now.
Yes.
Just just
Huh.
climbing, part of
Yes.
the maintenance staff. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I swear, man. I used to hear people say, "Hey, man, don't work too hard. Hey, man, don't work too hard. Hey, you know, don't work too hard. Take it easy, man. Take it easy. I don't give me more than 8 hours. Blah blah blah." And I think it's the worst possible advice on. I think there's the worst thing in the world to me is being mediocre. I really think if you haven't tried to live up to your absolute best potential, what are we here for, man? What, you know what I mean? I know I'm sounding like I'm getting on a soapbox now, but I just believe it in my heart. Why?
Oh,
I think it's just bad advice. I think why not try? I want to be the best I can possibly be. I'm not doing it for anybody else but me. I want to see how good I can get, and as a tradesman in this career and anything I've ever done, you want to try and be the best you can possibly be. So, anyway, all right. Now I'm sounding like
yeah,
an
it
old
makes
boomer.
the day go
Man,
quicker too.
man, I'm
Make
now.
it makes the day go quicker too.
Well, yes. Well, I now I'm starting to see sound like an old boomer, man. Man, I can't believe the amount
Oh,
of
oh
yeah.
yeah.
Is there a lot of hate for boomers right now, or what?
Listen,
I'm shocked.
we are old boomers. Okay?
Well, okay.
That
Listen,
yeah.
I don't like the expression, really. I think it's a bad expression because I think it makes it easier for other generations to hate on their parent. Trade the name boomers for your grandparents or your parents. Okay, and I think it's different. So anyhow,
No, we're boomers.
well,
Okay?
I understand that. I understand.
It's over.
Listen,
Yeah.
I don't want to turn the clock back one day. I never have. I've never. Oh gosh, people say, man, the '70s were great, man. That was the best time. I wish I could go back. I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to the '80s or the '90s, whatever. I'm happy right now. I don't want to turn the clock back a single day. So that's the way it is. All right.
Listen to you, Mr. No regrets.
No, if it's
No regrets.
no, silly.
That's crazy to say that though. You started your Bona career at 55.
Yeah. Listen,
That's
when
that's
I
that's
when I was a
wild.
territory manager, I had the Bona van, and I used to carry panels with me all the time. I mean, heavy panels, and two by fours and 3/4 inch plywood or half inch plywood, or probably 5/8, and then the 3/4 inch flooring on top where I'd make panels. So I didn't want to depend on a distributor having everything I needed. I want to have my own stuff. So I would carry these three panels, long panel, 8 foot by 4 foot panels, three of them in my van,
We
and I
know.
would I would load them
I
up,
know. I
and
remember.
and I remember when I was working with the guy who's not with us anymore. He goes, man. you can't do this much longer. I mean, how do you do this? You do this every day? I mean, blah, blah, blah. He was traveling with me. You remember
Yeah.
Mike.
Yep.
Okay. Great guy. And he's like worried, like you can't do this. And I was like, what is he talking about? This is what we do. I used to sand floors every day. This is, you know what I mean? This is nothing. This is what
Yeah.
we do.
This is a
But
vacation.
he couldn't get over like, oh man, you every day you put these panels in there by yourself and all this, that, and the other. Man, it's just, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Just I was 55, but I didn't feel like I was old. So I still don't. I'm only old. I only think I'm old because when my colleagues tell me I'm old. Other than that, I feel fine.
Are
All
you
right.
getting what I'm getting? Do you get this a lot from family and friends,
What's that?
co-workers? So when you're retiring,
Yeah, oh yeah, you get it all the time now.
when you're
Yeah,
retiring,
yeah. You
uh,
get it all the time.
I go
Yeah,
never. No, they're
yeah.
gonna have to drag me out.
Yeah.
Okay, like the Bugs Bunny cartoon where the cat is clawing his way, right, holding
Mm-hmm.
on, and they're
Mm-hmm.
dragging him by the tail. That's gonna be me going out. You do realize you're starting to get old when buddies that you went to high school with are there's more retired people,
Yeah.
friends of mine,
Yes. True.
than
Yeah.
workers.
I told you, man. Don't ever go to a high school reunion, man. A 40-year high school reunion, 44 year. Don't do it. I've never been more depressed in my life. I went there happy and drove away just depressed. I
Why?
apologize to Judy for getting her for taking her.
Why?
I've never seen such old people in my life. Like life was over for them. They're like sitting around not doing anything, you know, and they go, oh, Billy Bob died. No kidding. Well, what about Rob? Oh, he died in '02.
Did you just say
Well,
what about Rob?
no, Billy Bob, I said.
No, I
Uh,
thought Billy Bob, and then I hear, oh, what about Rob? Yeah,
no,
he's
no,
dead
no,
too.
no.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
but I mean, this is the truth. A third of my class have died. Okay. That's shocking, isn't it? A
That's
third.
that's nuts. Holy
Yeah.
crap. That's
Yeah.
what year did you graduate?
78.
Wow.
I think it was my 45th reunion. I swear, man, don't do it. And
I've never
they
been I graduated in 80. I've never been to a reunion. I hang out with the same guys I went to school with. It's the same
yeah,
crowd.
don't hang out with any other. It was 48 years. So don't hang out with any. They give you name tags. You don't think you need them, but you need them.
Right.
As you look at that, you go, "Oh man, what happened to you?" I remember him. He was a stud. Now look at him. And
Look
then
at him now.
I
I
talked
could
to this
kick his
one
ass.
guy.
I could kick his ass.
Well, I found that out too. I was like, oh, I could beat him up now.
Yeah.
Um, another couple years, I got him.
I might take a shot at the title.
I talked to this one guy that I graduated with. Like he had it going on when we were in school. Like he was too good to even be friends with me. But you know, I feel pretty good about myself. You know, and he was the best dressed kid in school, bar none. And after being disappointed with all the other peers I'm looking around talking to, I see him across the room. I go, okay, yeah, I remember him. The guy's a stud. I'll go talk to him. So I start talking to him. He doesn't quite turn his neck all the way over. Like he can't turn his head all the way over to look at me, right? Like something's wrong with his neck. I start talking to him, and he's not all there. And I went, what what the hell's going on here? You know, like he lost it, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I
And
don't know
look
what the
at you.
hell. What was our show
Wits
about?
about you, great shape, better
Absolutely.
looking now than I think I'm better looking now than I was in high school. Are
Oh man. All right, we had a what the hell was the show about today?
we doing a show today?
Yeah, how far are we into this?
Half hour.
Half hour. Okay. All right. Well, you know, let me just do this then. I went on AI. The reason I'm bringing this up about AI, man, it is beyond scary. Here's what I asked it. I said, let's see what I asked. I said, how do you know a floor guy is a knowledgeable professional floor guy? And give me top 10 reasons or whatever. And here's his answer. It says, you know, guy is a hardwood floor guy if one, he owns more moisture meters than household appliances. That's pretty damn funny for AI.
AI came up with that.
Listen, he can smell a wet slab before the RH test is finished. This is crazy. He says that's going to cup more often than he says good morning. He judges homes based on expansion gaps instead of curb appeal. He has a stronger opinion about trowel notches than most people have about politics. Did you just yawn?
No,
Okay.
I'm stretching my jaw.
His weather app isn't for rain, it's to see how much the floor is about to move. This AI guy is pretty good. He can identify wood species faster than he can identify relatives at a family reunion. He hears the floor squeak and immediately starts diagnosing joint spacing, subfloor deflection, and fastening schedules. He refers to a moisture meter problem as job security. He spent $50,000 on tools, but still used a screwdriver from 1997 because it just works. All right. He measures everything except the amount of coffee he drinks. Whenever someone says it's probably fine, he immediately asks for moisture readings. Next one. He's walked onto a job site and said, "Who installed this?" before taking 2 steps inside. That's very true.
This is unbelievable.
Isn't
You
it?
got this. Yeah.
And,
This
and
is weird.
you know how fast it spit him out? 10 seconds. He has sanded floors worth more than the car he drove to the job site. He treats NWFA guidelines like some people treat the 10 Commandments. He can tell which trade caused the flooring problem before the other trade even arrives.
Wow.
I like this AI dude. He has 2 knees, 3
Sounds
back
like
braces.
you're going to do a show with him.
I know. He has 2 knees, 3 back braces, 4 tape measures, and 0 sympathy for shortcuts. Coming to the end here now. He knows a floor failure story for every city in America. Sounds like you. His version of a horror movie starts with the words, "The builder wanted us to install before the HVAC was running." And the last one, he doesn't trust concrete, drywallers, painters, plumbers, weather forecasts, or humidity. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
And what did you ask AI to get that?
For the bonus, it says, you know, he's a veteran hardwood floor man when he says, "I've only got one rule, test the slab. Every floor failure starts with somebody saying, don't worry about it."
Jeez.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah. I told my uncle one time that should be your tattoo.
What's that? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. I called him so many times on whatever problem it was. Hey, it's a little tacky. It's this. It's that. Nah, don't worry, Robbie. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
yeah.
That
But
was his. That was his go-to answer.
you know
The
something?
man worried about nothing. I think I inherited a lot of that too.
You know how reassuring it is when, like, my Uncle Stan would says, "Oh yeah," when I'd ask him, he said, "Stan, it's doing this." You know what, kid? Don't worry about it. You know how reassuring that would be to me when he would say that? Oh my gosh. Oh man, it would put my mind at ease
It
so
was the
much.
weight was off of my shoulders.
Oh man, when he
Yeah,
says, don't worry
yeah.
about that.
It absolutely.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. Man, to hear that from an older guy tell you that, man, it's like the weight of the world went
Don't
away.
worry about it.
Yeah.
Just code it.
Now, was he
Okay.
right? Was he right every time? No. But
You know what? I think the products were a little more forgiving back then. A lot more lead and stuff.
yeah, lot more lead, a lot more nasty products out there. Hey, I don't know what this show is about, but we covered a few different things. But there you go. We got
We'll
another
call it
one.
like they did on Jeopardy. Jeopardy. Potpourri.
There you go. All right. Anyhow, this has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.